Hello viewers, this is Evelyn of Livabuhay. Today I'll be showing to you a beautiful orchid plant. I don't know the other name of this orchid. There's a lot of varieties of them. So I don't really have, all this knowledge of orchid and names. But if somebody watching here knows what is this kind of orchid, it's kind of a tiger print on it. And as you see, the flowers are really very nice. I have it already for like 2 years now. I just bought it actually in a grocery stores. Here in Sweden, if you go into grocery stores, they're also selling different kinds of things and even plants. So this one, I just saw it, and it's actually kind of a mini orchid. This is not the kind of orchids where they are very big, but I have like 3 different colors, a variety of the small orchids. I just want, if I see a small mini orchid plant, I just want to collect them. So I have one that is kind of, the flowers are kind of yellow green, and this one is like this. And if you wonder, it actually has bearing a lot of flowers now. It's ongoing there, and one there and the one there are fully, and those ones there are fully grown. And what I did, of course, I have some organic orchid food. They are in a form of kind of sticks, and I usually just put them. You can put them like once a week, or it depends upon the instruction you have it in there. But when you have these plants inside, you really need to have some artificial food for them. It's because they are only planted in small containers. So as you see here, it's like that. And I actually have them on the area of my house where I have actually a plant lamp. It's a kind of lamp where it is kind of an artificial light to your plants, an extra artificial light, and it seems like these orchids really loves it. So as you see, it's a lot of it, and the leaves are ready. So it's kind of a mini orchid actually. So as you see, the orchids is really growing very well. The leaves are very green, and it's when I bought it, it is already like this. It is already in this kind of container, and it's just so nice. You can have it on your table. You can have it anywhere in your house. But of course, just be sure that you water them, because they don't like it when they get so dry. Because as you see, if you really see the nature of orchids, they actually grow in the wild, where it's kind of moist there. And as far as my experience is concerned, I experienced it being in a place in my home, Philippines, in my country home, Philippines, where they are growing actually just on the side of a waterfall, and there it's moist and it's high humidity, and they just love growing. So I actually saw orchids growing wildly in forest, and you can really understand more what is the kind of temperature they want. And as what I said, didn't like when they get so dry. So as much as caring is concerned, it's very important. I always say that on my contents, feel them. When you touch a plant there somewhere else, you touch them and it's so dry, you have to water them, because they also like us people. When you don't drink water, you can get dehydrated, and then you really need to take liquids. And it's same with plants. So the best thing to do is touch them, because some plants doesn't like either when they're just drowning in water. There are some plants like the poinsettia, they don't like it when you water them every day or every week. The best is to touch them. Some plants you need to let them dry experience dryness for like 2 to 3 days, like the poinsettia, or we call them here in Sweden the Christmas plant. And I have a Christmas plant that is already quite, I have it like for like 7 years. Some people, they buy this poinsettia and then after the Christmas they die, and it's because when you give them water all the time, they need to be dried. But orchids, they don't like it when they get so dry. They should have the moisture all the time because that is the kind of environment that they like. So speaking of orchids, it should be that you have them as much as possible to get sunlight or an artificial light, and then that they get artificial food from time to time because they like it, especially if you have your orchids in small containers. Whatever plant you have and they are in small containers, the growth of the roots are limited. So it means that your soil that is being used, your plant is growing, the nutrient of it can be easily be like, the nutrients will be taken by the plant for like, if you say 3 months, 6 months. So you need to refill nutrients in your plant, and that is in the form of artificial food or fertilizer, you call it. And it's different kinds of fertilizer. There are fertilizers that you dissolve a kind of stick or something, tablet in a water. There are some in a liquid form which you will only add water on it. And there's different kinds of nutrition or food or artificial food to your plants, and it depends upon the kind of plants you have. So with this orchid, I actually use an orchid fertilizer. So as you see, it's actually very, very nice, and it's actually growing very well. I just like the color of it. And this is actually the first time it has like this 3 stalks here. 3. And I even just almost forget this. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, it's actually having a lot of flowers now. So it's actually very nice. So I will be continuing to put. And speaking of fertilizer, I have to put again this one because it was quite long that I never put. I have some other orchids that I have, but I don't know, I just like plants that, you know, they are that very cute and they don't grow so big, but then they are just nice to look. So if you look at every petal and every side of it, it's just so nice. So anyway, I hope I had shared something important about caring of orchids, and I hope I was able to share an information that you yourselves can use with regards to caring orchids. Again, this is Evelyn of Livabuhay, and thank you for watching.